action. Smile side by side. We are on your face now. Don't smile now. You are a model. Now let's do this again.
Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Hadidi Makeovers. So if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. If you're new here, you're welcome to the family. And please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget to share. And yeah, you can drop your suggestions on my comment section. And yeah, let's just jump right into the video. So for today we are going to be doing a very detailed bridal makeup look. Okay, so I've decided to use neutral tones today to make it look more like a nude bridal makeup, but also on the shimmery part of everything. I don't want to use matte shades. If I say nude, some people will be expecting me to go all matte. So no, this nude bridal makeup is going to come like with shimmers, with shines and all that. So my model's name is Mariam, and yeah, my model is very beautiful. Her skin is just perfect. And also okay, let's just get started. So starting off, as you can hear from my voice, I have been sick, guys. Last week I was just managing myself, and I have been I don't know if you guys can hear from my voice. I have catarrh, and yeah, it's not corona. So let's continue with the video, guys. So I started off cleaning her face. So I have been thinking about this since the weather in Nigeria here has changed. Like the northern part of Nigeria, I don't know about the other part of Nigeria, but the northern part of Nigeria is very hot right now. The weather is hot, like the sun shines always. It rains only once in a while. And also we are going to be doing a video on how to apply your makeup during this type of during this I don't know how to put the English. Okay, when the weather is hot. So I'm going to be teaching you guys how to my next video is going to be on how to apply your makeup in a humid weather, like the very hot season we are in now. So I'll be doing a tutorial. You guys should watch out for next week's video on that. So but for today, my model Mariam has a dry skin, but only tends to get oily all around her nose area, her forehead, and also on her chin. So we are going to be mattifying that part of her face, and the remaining part of her face I'm going to be moisturizing, because when I touched her skin was a little bit was too dry, even if the weather and all that. But I had to moisturize the outer part of her face and also mattify the inner part of her face. But before we get there, I just used the micellar cleansing water at first to clean her face, to make sure her skin is well hydrated. Since we are talking about the skin being a dry skin, like a normal to combination skin, the T-zone area is oily while the outer part of her skin is dry. I'm so sorry. And yeah, we are going to be, I cleaned her face using the micellar cleansing water, the simple micellar cleansing water, just to get the skin hydrated and all that. And for the outer part, the inner part of her skin, I made sure I mattify that part using the primer first, then I moisturized using the Cetaphil primer. I don't know if I showed that here on the video, but starting off, we started by cleaning the face, and then I drew the brows using my brow tint and also the brow pencil. So I'm going to be cleaning under her eyes using these two shades foundation. I used the LA Girl concealer in the shade Espresso and Fawn. I used Fawn for her brow bone and also Espresso for the outer part of the brows. Then I'm going to be using the Khalifa foundation before I do the upper part of the brows, since we are going to be doing the skin work first. Like we did the brows, then we are moving on to the skin work. I'm going to prime and moisturize her skin. Here I used the Cetaphil moisturizer, and also the Rimmel London Stay Matte Primer. On her T-zone, the outer part, I used Cetaphil moisturizer. So we are going to be moving on. I'll be using the Khalifa foundation. Gosh, this this foundation, guys, this foundation is the bomb. Like, this foundation does not get the hype it deserves. Like, I don't know, let me not hype it too much, but you just go give it a try and see what I'm telling you, guys. Like, the shades of this particular product, the skin tone, like, it gets every skin tone. Even though you're mixing two of them, it gives you like the perfect shade for that person's skin tone, as far as you're Nigerian. So that's what I can testify for, that's what I can vouch for. Like, if you're a Nigerian, I've only made up for Nigerians with this foundation, so I don't really know about other countries. But yeah, this Khalifa foundation, can you see the coverage, guys? Let me show you half of the face. Let me do half, then you see what I'm talking about. So just imagine the way the foundation is looking, all creamy, and it's a 24-hour foundation, Stay Matte. It's a matte foundation. When you're done blending, it dries up immediately. Can you see the difference, guys? Like, the part I already covered is looking, and I just used, did I touch the foundation again? Like, the coverage is a full coverage foundation, and oh my god, I don't know what to say. Just go get it and get it yourself, and you can testify to that if you can see what I mean. So after that, I'm going to be blending the foundation, and of course my beauty blender is a damp beauty blender. I used a beauty blender that is very damp, like a wet beauty blender, not very wet. I had to press it off, but the beauty blender is a wet beauty blender. That's why I'm going to be using I used it to apply my moisturizer and the primer, so that everything will just sit pretty on her skin. So I'm using the same beauty blender to do the foundation. I actually learned this trick from the Painted by Spencer. Yeah, that guy does makeup, guys. He's a mad makeup artist. Like, that guy is good. So I always watch his videos here on YouTube. You can go watch or subscribe to his channel too. This is not so I'm going to be using, for the highlight of her face, I'm going to be using the same the same shade, the LA Girl concealer in the shade Fawn and Espresso. I'll be using that for her highlights under her eyes, the tip of the bridge of her nose, her forehead, the cupid bow, and also on her chin. I'm going to be using this shade to highlight. Then I'll be using the same damp beauty blender I used for the foundation. I'll be using that to blend out my concealer. Some of you have been complaining about the blending of under the eyes, and also the blending of the highlights in general. So the problem here is, if your concealer is not good, there is no way your blending is going to be well smooth, like it's going to be well blended. And if your beauty blender, the beauty blender you're using, if it's not soft enough, there is no way you want the foundation or your concealer to be well blended like that. And also avoid applying too much product under the eyes, guys. That is the trick. If you know you are applying a primer, avoid under the eyes. Only moisturize under the eyes and then use your foundation. Even the foundation, you don't want to apply too much foundation under the eyes. You want to go in with a little bit, like the remnants and the beauty blender, you go over under the eyes, and then you use your concealer as the full coverage under the eyes, because the skin around the eyes is very thin. So you want to avoid applying too much product under the eyes. That's what makes whatever makeup you do, whatever product you're using, even though if it's expensive or not, it will still break, because you are applying too much product on the skin, under the eyes rather, because the skin around under the eye area is very thin. So you want to avoid applying too much product under the eyes, guys. So if you get this, and you also want to set your concealer with your powder before you bake, I do that. I learned this trick from the Laifa Beauty, from her YouTube videos. If you watch her videos, like, she sets under the eyes first before baking with a setting powder. Yeah, so if that works for you, then it's fine. And you also want to blend before even doing all of that. You have to blend smoothly before you bake or you set under the eyes. So moving on, I'm going to be using the setting powder, the Airspun setting powder, to set my makeup, my highlights rather. So I'm going to be applying that under all over, like where I already highlighted with the concealer. I'm going to be setting that. And if you noticed, I contoured her nose using the powder before I set I applied the setting powder. So moving on, I'm going to be setting her whole face, like the outer part of her face. I'm using a darker shade of powder. It seems the shade, the Khalifa foundation shade I used, was in Hot Choco. It was a little bit too yellow for her skin, so I'm going to be using the V Beauty powder palette. I'll be using a darker shade just to match everything, and voila, here we go. Everything is looking all smooth out and also all blended. So guys, as you can see sorry guys, so as you can see, I'm done with the skin. We are going to be moving on to the eyes using the Benai eye primer. So as I already told you guys earlier, I want to go in with neutral tones, so I'll try as much as possible to be a little bit neutral. And yeah, let's see how good she's going to look after the makeup. So I'm going to be using this Benai Clown White eye primer. I'll be applying that all over her crease and then like on her eyelids, and then I'm going to be going in with my blending brush just to smoothen out my eye primer. You want to do that, guys. You don't want your eye primer to look scattered when you are applying your eyeshadow, because the way it breaks, that is how your eyeshadow will later break. Even if it looks smooth at the beginning, it will later break. So moving on, the eyeshadow I'll be using today is my all-time favorite Zikel X Lydia Stanley eyeshadow palette. I'll be using this on her crease, like the golden champagne gold shade. You see, it's like a nude eyeshadow too. It's all skin tone shade, but it's a shimmery eyeshadow. It's not a matte eyeshadow, like it has shine in it. So I'm going to be applying the two eyes first because I don't want my eye primer to dry up. So you want to do that. As far as I've applied the two eyes, if I had applied only one eyes, I'm going to be done with the one eyes, but I'm going to be setting my eyeshadow on the primer so that when I finish one of the eyes, it doesn't get dry before I get back to the eyes. So I'll be using the Real Technique contour brush, like this tiny brush I have from my Real Technique brush palette. I'll be using that as my contour, using a dark brown and a light brown shade. I'll be contouring her eyes, and then I'm going to be taking my House of Tara fluffy brush and doing my transition. I'll be using the light brown shade and the burnt orange color to do my transition shade. So I'll be applying the burnt orange color on as her transition in between the eyeshadow and her contour. You want to make sure you blend every line on her crease. You don't want to see lines on your eyeshadow. So after I'm done with the blending, I'll still go over the champagne gold shade again, and also because of the blending of the eyes, I'll still go over that just to top it up again so that the golden glittery shimmery eyeshadow thing doesn't go off all of it. And pardon me, Zikel, this eyeshadow is a little bit the fallout on this eyeshadow is a little bit too much. So I don't know if you guys can correct that. So after we are done with this, I'm going to be doing the other eyes, and then we'll come back. And okay, so before that, I'm going to be setting her highlights, like using a lighter shade of powder to set the concealer highlight on her brow bone. You want to make sure you do that so that your brow bone doesn't look oily or anything like that. So I'm going to do the other eyes. Boom. And after that, we are going to be moving on to the mascara. I'll be using the Mega Impact 3X mascara on her lashes. And then I'll be using the Mabruk eyeliner gel. Liquid eyeliner, sorry. The Mabruk liquid eyeliner. I'll be using that to line her eyes. So guys, today you guys have noticed I'm going to be doing the eyeliner on camera. I'll be showing you guys how to apply eyeliner if the person has a bigger eyeballs or small eyeballs. I'm going to be doing a tutorial about that very soon too. I think that will be for upper week. So I'm going to be applying the Mabruk liquid eyeliner. This eyeliner is very black, guys, and it's so matte. After it dries up, everything becomes matte and it looks like a gel eyeliner. So we're going to be making sure our hand is very precise. You want to make sure your hand is straight, guys. I always rest my hand on my model's face or my client's face because I do have shaky hands sometimes, and the eyeliner ends up getting all shaky and all that and not straight. So I'm going to be doing the other eyes, and then I'll be fixing the eyelashes from Wink Lashes Nigeria. I'll be using the lash in Savage, and you see how full and beautiful our eyes will look in a second. Can you see that? Like, this lashes is one of my favorite lashes, guys. The Savage lashes. It's fluffy, it's wispy, and it's just perfect for a bridal makeup. So I'm going to be going in with the Girls Night Out blush palette, the Lady V Girls Night Out blush palette, my all-time favorite, guys. I'll be doing a circular motion on her cheeks. You want to make sure you get that right. And I told you guys we are going all neutral, but for the blush, I think I'm going to be touching a little bit of peach and the orange shade just to give her the color boost she needed as a bride. So we are going to be doing circular motion. Some people tend to just apply the blush like just a little bit on the cheek. You want to make sure you spread it on the cheek like and just brush it towards the ear area. You want to make sure it blends perfectly and everything should just go smoothly. So yeah, I'm going to be taking off the setting powder now. I'll be using the Lady V Planet Cosmetics. From this palette, there is a finishing powder there that looks like MAC mineral powder. So this finishing powder has these tiny shimmers in it, and this powder is just perfect for like a bridal makeup look. So I'm going to be using it to take off the setting powder. That's her shade, the darker shade. I'll be using it to take off the setting powder and then setting the whole face. So let's get that again. So you want to make sure you set your contour with her shade of powder so it doesn't look too harsh on the person's face. You want to make sure you do that. If it's a cream contour, if it's a powder contour, you want to make sure you get that so we don't get a straight line later after the makeup is all settled on her face. So moving on, I'm going to be asking my model to take a deep breath, guys. You know the Ferrarucci all-nighter setting spray. Oh, sorry, before we get to that, I'm going to be applying her bronzer, like the Get Gorgeous all-time favorite bronzer, my all-time favorite bronzer, guys. So as you can see, or as you can hear me right now, sometimes I tend to flop on this voiceover thing. It's because I just watch the video and I record. I don't do scripting or I don't do anything like that. I just watch it on my screen and I record on a different on my mic, and then later put it together on the same video. So pardon me if I make mistakes with the voiceover thing. So I'm going to be using the Ferrarici All Nighter setting spray. I'll be asking her to hold her breath because this spray is a little bit harsh, so I'll be setting her face with that. And yeah, this spray is very, very good for like your for the weather, this weather we have now. And then I'm going to be topping it up with my glow spray, my personal glow spray. Guys, I told you I made this glow spray myself, so I think let's see what happens before the year runs out. I'll just have to launch this spray. And yeah. So I'm going to be asking her to look to turn side by side. Can you see how beautiful my model is looking without the lipstick, guys? Her skin is already glowing. The look is all natural. Like, the look is looking, the makeup is looking nude on her and all that. So I'm going to be going in with the brow gel, my random brow gel, guys. I'll be lining her lips with that. And then moving on, I'm going to be lining her lips. After lining her lips, let's wait and see what happens. So, and yeah, guys, you want to make sure whenever you're doing a full lips, you want to make sure you dip into your lipstick or your this pot gel eyeliner I'm using. You want to make sure there's a particular amount you want to use. Like, you want to do a full lips, you make sure the brush is also a little bit fuller on and you want to make sure to blend the lips very well. So I don't know how to explain this. Maybe next time if I'm doing a tutorial on that, I will be explaining much more better. Yeah, so I'm going to be using the Adventure Nude lip stain. This lip stain is in Adventure. I'll be concentrating more on the lower lips. I want her lower lips to be lighter than the upper lip, so we get that nude, beautiful, full lip color we want. Guys, can you see her skin? Like, this foundation and this powder goes very well, guys. And also, don't forget my glow setting spray. Look what her face is looking like, guys. Looking like $1,000,000. So I'm going to be going in with the classic makeup lip gloss. I'll be topping that up with this lip gloss, and the lip gloss is also in nude. The lip gloss is almost finished, guys, but I still love this lip gloss. So I'm going to be topping it all over her lips, the upper and the lower part of her lips. So after we are done with that, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to watch these videos to the end. I hope you guys, I'm communicating, guys. I hope I am delivering what you guys are always wanted. So yeah, and if you do like this video, please don't forget to subscribe. And the last but not the least, you want to make sure, as a bride, you want to make sure you get the lower lashes. You want to make sure she looks up. You tell your model or your bride to look up, then you apply your lower mascara so that the lashes on the lower eyes looks more as beautiful as the upper eyes. So guys, if you do enjoy this video, please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to subscribe, guys. And also don't forget to share. This is Hadidi Makeovers. Once again, I love you guys so much. I'll see you guys on Thursday. with a new turban tutorial. I love you guys. Bye.